Welcome to the Startup Support Surgery podcast, where we light the entrepreneurial spark in medics and healthcare professionals. Join me, Dr. Jo Watkins, GP, business coach and co-founder of The How People, on a journey to discover where your medical know-how meets the business world. This will help you find some clarity on how to balance work, passions and family so that you can gain more freedom and control over your life, but also continue to help people, which is actually why most of us went into medicine to start with. Embarking on this entrepreneurial adventure is not easy. It is a roller coaster of emotions, but it's hugely rewarding and exciting in the process. Drawing on my 20 years of blending medicine and business as a GP, I am here to share experiences, insights and lessons. Expect lively chats, expert interviews and real-life stories from medics who have taken their own path. Let's break free from traditional healthcare norms and explore more innovative ways of making a real difference to people's health and well-being, along with paving the way for a brighter future for us as healthcare professionals. Oh, don't miss my free PDF called From Stethoscope to Startup, which is an 11-page guide in the show notes full of practical help and advice. This is your roadmap to kickstarting your journey with us. Enjoy the show. Welcome to this special summer series of the Startup Support Surgery podcast. Over the next 6 weeks, instead of my usual interviews, I'm sharing 6 short client stories from people I've had the absolute pleasure of working with over the last few years. And this time, I've deliberately taken myself out of the interviewing seat. The wonderful Liu Batchelor, who I first met back in the pre-COVID days when we were planning live events around the country for the How People, has interviewed each of my clients, asking them how they found me, what was going on for them at the time, what they were struggling with, what we worked on, and more importantly, what actually changed. I can try and tell you until the cows come home, but I think the best way to understand what it's actually like to work with me and be part of the Startup Support Surgery program is to hear this directly from people who've been through this journey themselves. Liu now offers client story interviews like this to other businesses too. So if you'd like somebody to help capture your clients' stories in this way, take a look at her details in the show notes. I really hope you enjoy these conversations. Now let's get into this week's client story. Today's client story is with the lovely Manisha Bhatnagar. I have absolutely loved working with Manisha over the last couple of years. I'm filming this in August 2026, and this time, 2 years ago in 2024, Manisha had lots and lots of ideas, but no real clarity about where to start or even what kind of business she wanted to build. Fast forward to 2 years later, and she has created and grown the Liverpool Clinic, which is a thriving in-person clinic offering advanced joint and tendon treatments just outside Liverpool. And she has an exciting online element to her work coming soon. It's been an absolute joy to watch Manisha find her focus, grow in confidence, and turn those early ideas into something very, very real. In this client story, Manisha shares that journey in her own words.
I'm Manisha Bhatnagar. I'm a GP by trade, but I've opened a clinic up in Liverpool called the Liverpool Clinic. And we offer advanced joint and tendon treatments. So they are, for example, different kinds of joint injections or more sort of specialist procedures under ultrasound guidance or other treatments.
Great. And when and where did you first meet Jo and the work that she does?
So, Jo, I'm a member of the BSLM, and I think January 2024, from memory, I joined an online day watching about how to set up your own lifestyle medicine clinics. I've always had a big interest in lifestyle medicine, preventative health, and Jo was one of the speakers on the actual webinar, and I just thought she was brilliant. I thought she was so engaging, so interesting, really easy to connect with, and what she had to say was exactly what I was looking for. So after the webinar, I contacted her to see if we could have a chat about, her service and what she offers.
Before you started your own clinic, what was the challenges you were going through, or kind of the uncertainties? What were the struggles before starting working with Jo?
Before I started setting up my own clinic and working with Jo, I would say I was just very lost. I had many ideas of all sorts of different things I could do, all sorts of services I could set up, but there was no real clarity in my decision making. And I really needed a mentor and somebody I could work closely with who would help me go through everything in great detail and get a good understanding and a good grasp for who I am, which is really important, and how I work and the different areas of interest and what may work well for me.
What was the negative impact that those challenges, those uncertainties were having, I guess, both on you personally, but also on kind of your business prospects or kind of opportunities?
The negative impact on me before I found Jo was I was feeling really lost. Very ungrounded. I didn't know where to start. I had no one really who was able to understand what I was trying to do or where I was trying to go with my service. That's how I felt at the time.
Tell me a little bit, what was the work that you did with Jo? What was the program that you took part in?
I started with Jo on a one-to-one session. In fact, we had, I think, 4 one-to-one sessions, an hour and a half long each. Jo was really, really thorough, really asked me very, very in-depth questions to find out my history, who I was, what my interests were within medicine, outside of medicine, what my goals were, how I saw myself within all of that. She's really intuitive. What happened actually was that I didn't realize how much information she had taken from me and how she'd processed it all. And as the one-to-ones carried on, how we came up with a solution and different ideas, which I hadn't even thought about. She has so much insight into all the different areas that I could work in and how I could start developing my service.
Am I right in thinking you then went on to her group program, or was it just one-to-ones?
Yes, no, then I joined her group program, and her group program is fantastic. The first part of it was all about clarity, and we'd actually covered some of that in our one-to-ones. So this really put it together for me. And following that, the regular meetings, the regular webinars, the teaching, all of that was so comprehensive that it covered everything I needed to set up my business.
What were the key light bulb moments? And it might have been one or it might be a few. If you were to say the biggest milestones or breakthroughs or just learnings that you took that made the biggest difference.
So the key light bulb moment was when I just felt like suddenly I managed to look through all of the grey and I've got a very clear idea as to where I want to go. Initially, it was all to do with prevention and lifestyle medicine. I'm a GP. It's something I'm really passionate about, preventative medicine. But things had happened over the course of a couple of months of me starting with Jo and talking about things. And I found myself being really interested in setting up a clinic rather than just the lifestyle work. And Jo really helped me focus. I didn't realise that until I'd started working with Jo more intensely and realised that's what I really wanted to do. So that's how I started with the clinic.
What's the impact been for you since doing all this work? Part A for your business, for the clinic, and then part B on you personally.
So the impact for me personally has been immense. I feel like I've got somebody who's got my back. She's really honest with me. She's really intuitive. She challenges me. We've got to know each other. She's got to know me and my way of working so well that she'll bring me back into focus because I've got a tendency to start thinking about all sorts of things. And it's really reassuring to have her. She's given me so much confidence. And more than that, I've got community who I feel are really, really important. She's got access to so many resources as well. So she's helped me grow in confidence and make me realise that I can actually do this and see how far I've come with it. Something I never thought I could do, and I'm now doing it. So that's amazing. As far as my clinic goes, it wouldn't be here without Jo. It just wouldn't be. And the way it's evolved as well, the way, like I said, she challenges me with my thought processes and the things I want to develop. She's really helped me work those out as well.
As a result of all this work, what's next for you and the clinic?
So as a result of all this work, we've become quite established in the last 18 months, getting a good reputation. Jo's really knows the ethos of the clinic, how I wanted it to be, and she's guided me through that as well. So we're more sort of boutique independent clinic. We have a very personal touch, and we are now developing new services. So it's getting far more established than it was. I'm also, with my love for lifestyle medicine, I'm also side by side doing some health optimization for my patients who've got joint problems. And that's bringing in a whole new dimension, which I find really satisfying.
So who would you say is the ideal person for Jo? Like, obviously she kind of works with doctors, medical professionals, but how would you describe like the perfect fit for Jo?
I'd say the ideal person for Jo is somebody who needs very experienced, intuitive mentor who can guide them through the whole process from beginning to end, to help them work out exactly what they want to do, whether they're medical or whether they have another business in mind. And her program takes you through it each step of the way, whether it's through setting up your own webinar, marketing, having webinars with very, very interesting specialist people. So you have a full, well-rounded experience with Jo and a lot of confidence.
Did you have any reservations before you started? And what would you say to other people who might have similar reservations?
To be honest, the reservations, I didn't have any reservations before I started because I'd seen Jo online and I just thought, I've been looking for somebody to help me for so long and I felt like I'd found my person who could help me. If somebody was having any reservations, I would say, honestly, you've got nothing to worry about. You're in the best hands possible. And she's always there for you and she's always got your back.
If you were to bottle the one thing that you think about Jo's support and also, I guess, the community and the group, if you were to bottle it, what would that one thing be, or what would be in the bottle?
There's just so many things I could bottle. I could bottle all of it, to be honest. It's a complete package. She's the complete package. That's what I'd bottle, the complete package.
Is there anything, I guess you were part of the community as well, is there anything that you'd say to the others, the community that you worked with, or that you'd like to reflect on of what?
The community has grown since I've been there, and the others who are all part of it are very supportive. We have hot seats where we give each other advice. People are doing all sorts of different things. It's a very eclectic group. And I'm just so, so proud.
If there was someone who's on the fence, they're thinking about joining, they're not quite sure, what would you say to them?
I would say to them, definitely go for it, because you will gain so much, and not just professionally, but personally as well. And you'll grow in confidence. And before you know it, you will have this huge community and also and immense support. And more than that, a lot of experience and knowledge. She's so knowledgeable.
Final thing is just, is there anything else you would like to say to Jo, or anything you'd like to comment that I haven't already asked you?
What I would like to say to Jo is thank you for being such an incredible business coach, incredible mentor, for being so intuitive, for challenging me when I really want to do everything and have lost my focus, and bringing me back to where I need to be, because that is just as important, and not just going along with it, because that has meant a lot to me.
I hope this episode has sparked some new ideas or challenged your thinking. Transitioning from medicine to business is not easy. It's about adapting our skills while embracing the unknowns of entrepreneurship. It can be nerve-wracking, but remember, you are not alone on this journey. Please feel free to reach out to me via direct message on LinkedIn or Instagram, or just shoot me an email at jo@bendylegs.com for support. And don't forget to grab the free PDF from the show notes, From Stethoscope to Startup, which is your go-to guide and resource for diving into entrepreneurship. Many thanks for tuning in. I will see you next time. Thanks for spending your precious time with me.
This has been a Monkey Pants Productions podcast.